The topic we all decided to talk about is empathy, because we think that the lack of empathy is one of the main problems affecting our world today, and we can see it in a lot of ways in our daily life. So, before my classmates explain you in which areas we can see this lack of empathy, I want to make the concept clear. Empathy is the key of emotional intelligence. It is the link between self and others, because with empathy is how we as individuals can understand what other people is experiencing, and like if we were living it ourselves. But it goes way beyond putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. That is just sympathy, and empathy is more like living their reality as yours. Now we want you to see some examples in which you can see this problem, and for you to realize that this lack of empathy is real. So enjoy.
Feminicides. Well, as we know, this is a topic that everyone is talking about. When I was doing my research, I found a woman, Maria Salguero, that she made a map, a digital map of all the murders of women in Mexico. And I thought, oh my god, it's so interesting and it's so important. She observed 6,571 feminicides throughout Mexican territory. A feminicide is when someone harasses or violates women just because they are women. But now I'm going to explain what is a feminicide. In just 3 years, from January 2016 to January 2019. To get more in detail, Maria Salguero transferred the work to Google Maps, updated until the first half of 2018. There's that satellite image full of crosses. The red ones are the 1,649 cases of that section of last year. The purple ones are 2,200 of 2017. The blue ones are the 2,100 of 2016. And I put into the empathy this topic because there's a lot of protest and there's a lot of people so apathic that do not care about what's happening around them, and it was more important when someone in the middle of the protest threw pink glitter to an important person, or when there was a protest in Ciudad de Mexico and everyone was talking about the street damage, and they don't care about the women who were being abused.
Now I'm gonna talk about corruption. Corruption is an important topic since it is something that sadly happens all around the globe. But before starting to talk about corruption, we must determine what corruption is. And well, according to the dictionary, corruption is a fraudulent conduct typically involving bribery perpetrated by those in power. The effects of corruption are far-reaching. It can undermine the political, economic, and social stability of a country and ultimately threaten the security of a society as a whole. Corruption creates a fertile ground for criminal organizations to make these corrupted activities. And it sometimes happens, well, it often happens that these corrupted activities are aided by officials that are also corrupted public officials. Corruption activities are something that cross multiple jurisdictions, and this is why, sadly, it is really hard to stop this problematic. There are a lot of examples of corrupted activities, but I'm going to talk about the most recent one, well, one of the most recent ones, that is something that happened in Bolivia. That was what happened with Evo Morales. Evo Morales is the ex-president of the Bolivian nation, and what he made was a fraudulent conduct, a corrupted conduct, since he committed electoral fraud for re-electing himself for the fourth time. Obviously, Bolivian citizens were not, they didn't agree with this, and that is why they organized a coup d'etat. Luckily for Evo Morales, he is now receiving help from our government, which is something that shouldn't happen in my opinion, but it is okay. I'm not judging our government's actions. I'm just talking about corruption. And well, that's what happens with corruption. And that's it.
So now I'm going to talk about empathy regarding same-sex marriage. You know, same-sex marriage isn't a recent controversy since it dates back to the first century. We even have recordings of it, or ceremonies that in the Christian religion that united two men in marriage, and it wasn't seen badly as it is now. Why is this happening? Why can we be empathic to to our people, to people that just want to unite in marriage and show love to each other, just as we as heterosexual people do? Why can't we let them be free and have things done their way? If they want to show love to each other, they should be accepted and be allowed to. Because just as we are allowed to show love, us men to women and women to us men, they should be allowed to unite in marriage legally and religiously and wherever you believe in. And so I think, and our team thinks, that being unempathic to people that just want to show love and appreciate each other is really it's really a bad state of mind, because we are not having empathy towards people that have feelings just like ours, and we are not having empathy with them. So it's bad to see that this is happening in the 21st century. You know, we are so advanced in what technology regards, and you know, we're living in 2019. So you know, it's unthinkable that there are still people that can't allow this to happen. I mean, they are just people that want to show love to each other. So that's something we have to care about and to have empathy.
By this, we can conclude that the excess of individualism is what have led this world with a lack of empathy, and that empathy is what the world really needs, because it is so easy to say how would you do the right thing in certain situations, but by actually living it, you end up doing what you used to judge in others. So think about it 2 times before judging other situation. And thanks for watching.